Alright, hack number 8 is a lot of fun and extremely useful for any business using Infusionsoft. Hack number 8 has to do with pausing and resuming campaigns. Now, if you're familiar with Infusionsoft's legacy system, legacy follow-up sequences, then you would know that they had the ability to start sequences and stop sequences, as well as when you select start sequence as your action, you can restart the sequence, meaning if they were already in the system, jump them all the way back to the beginning, or you could select resume the sequence if they had been paused in a prior action. So this ability to pause and resume sequences was built into Infusionsoft. But we now have a problem, and that problem is that the campaign builder has no pause and resume function. And so when a goal is completed in the campaign builder, it removes a contact completely from the previous sequences, leaving no trace in order to resume them back where they were. This is a problem when you're marketing. You might have a sequence going out to people, and then for some reason you might want to start promoting something differently, but you want to pause what they're getting now so that you can resume it later. Let's just say, for example, someone opts into your free report on your website and they go through a basic follow-up sequence leading to a sale. Well, at some point they're in that sequence and you come out with a new product and you want to do a product launch. Well, all those people that are in that sequence from the opt-in, you just want to pause that whole thing for the moment. You don't want to take them out completely. You just want to put it on pause, run your product launch, and then come back and resume it. Well, that is not possible in the campaign builder with a pause or resume function that is built in there. So if a campaign can't be paused, what happens is you run the risk of multiple automated campaigns running at once. And this muddies your message and reduces your response. So if you left those people in the opt-in follow-up sequence and then you ran the product launch on top of that, now they're getting, two different sets of emails at the same time, and it can get very confusing. And you just train people to start ignoring your emails because the messaging is all screwed up and they're getting multiple messages about multiple things. And so that's a problem. So if you build campaigns in the Infusionsoft campaign builder and you don't know this hack, you can't pause campaigns. But of course, what I'm going to show you is how to pause them and go ahead and resume them as well. The exact same way we did with legacy follow-up sequences, just now in the campaign builder. It's actually really simple, and again, a lot of fun to set up and implement, and very helpful in making sure that you keep your messages clean and clear to your different audiences. So this is what a standard email sequence is going to look like in Infusionsoft. You have some kind of goal on the front end, the one that I've labeled start there, where you're going to trigger that goal and then put people into a follow-up sequence. That start might be an opt-in form, it might be a purchase, whatever you're trying to do there, and then they go into a sequence, and then there's some goal at the end that's going to stop that sequence. Again, that goal pulls them completely out of the email sequence. There is no pause or resume function. Now inside that email sequence, pretty basic. You might tag the people as they come in, you send them a confirmation email, and then you've got a timer and an email and a timer and an email and a timer and an email, etc. You've got your sequence all laid out there. And that's the way we would typically build a sequence inside of the Infusionsoft campaign builder. But when you do that, again, you can start people on that sequence and you can stop people, meaning pull them out completely. But if they're halfway through those emails there, you're going to pull them out, and then if you want to put them back in, they're going to start over. You cannot restart them where they were at the midpoint when you pulled them out. So in order to do this, in order to pause and resume sequences, we need to build our sequences slightly differently. Instead of putting all of those emails in one sequence, we need to break up the emails into individual sequences. So let's just say we have a start goal at the beginning where we're starting people to get into the sequence. That's fine. And then we have a decision diamond because we see you've got a sequence for email 1 and then you've got a skip sequence. Well, that decision diamond is going to look for a tag that says that they have already received email 1. If they don't have that tag, and let's just assume someone is coming through here for the first time, they don't have that tag. And so therefore, if they don't have that tag, they're just going to move right into the sequence for email 1. Now, inside that sequence, two things are going to happen. We're going to send them the email for email 1, and we're also going to give them the tag that tells us that they have received email 1. I usually label those tags sent email 1 or something like that. Next, they're going to flow right into a sequence for email 2. We know that if they haven't received email 1 yet, they certainly haven't received email 2 either. So we can just automatically flow them into email 2. And of course, there'll be a timer in between those so that we don't just flow them immediately. But here we continue on. Now, let's say at this point, again, let's go back to our scenario where they've opted in and they've got some emails going to them, and now we want to say, hey, you know what, put the brakes on this thing. We want to run a product launch, and so we go ahead and we apply a tag. Let's call it a stop tag or a pause tag. We want to pause the campaign, and so we'll go ahead and give them that tag that's at the very end there to stop this sequence and this whole campaign. That will pull them out completely. Again, we've lost track of where they are according to the way the campaign looks at it. And so now, after the launch is over, we're going to restart them. So we go ahead and we give them the start tag again. Now, of course, remember, if you're going to do something like this, it's a looping campaign, and so as soon as they come in the first time, we need to remove that tag so that they can come in again the second time. And of course, the second time, always as a first action, we're going to remove the tag that we just gave them when they come in. So now we've finished our product launch. Now we want to put them back in here. So they go to the start goal there, and we get to the decision diamond again. Now the decision diamond is going to ask, does this person have the tag for having already seen email 1? In this case, they do. And so immediately it's going to route them down to the skip sequence. The skip sequence is empty and immediately goes to the next decision diamond, which asks the question, do they have the tag that tells us that they've seen email 2? And in this case, they do, because they already went through that sequence. And so they move immediately to the skip sequence that equates to email 2. And again, we have another decision diamond asking, have they received the tag that says we have sent email 3 to them? In this case, we haven't, because we pulled them out after email 2. And so now they're going to route into the sequence for email 3. And again, email 3, we're going to send the email and apply the tag. And so you can build this out as long as you'd like, of course, and as long as you've got your goals on both ends set up so that at any point in time you could pull them out, meaning pause the campaign, and then put them back in so that you can restart the campaign. And as long as your decision diamonds are set up, they can skip immediately, and this will happen instantaneously. They'll just skip, 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 and then end up right where they should have been. And so you can just set up those decision diamonds. As long as you're tagging them for every email they've received, you can then set up rules saying, do they have that tag? Do they have that tag? Do they have that tag? And if they continue to have those tags, they of course just skip, 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 skip until they get to a decision diamond where they don't have the tag, and then they jump back into the sequence where we're sending them emails. So it's a very basic technique. It's really pretty simple when you think about it, but it's really powerful for your basic opt-in sequences, in particular, evergreen offers, things like that, things that are running all the time. You want to have the ability to pause them and then resume them, because you never know when you might want to release a new product, or you need to make an announcement to everybody, product launch, or make a partner offer or something, and you just need to put everything else on hold so that you can have a clear message to your audience and not be mixing messages. And you never know when those automated messages might be going out to people if they've opted in through your website, because they can opt in anytime. They could opt in yesterday, the day before, a month ago, a year ago, and so you may not know off the top of your head where everybody in those campaigns might be in the sequences. So if you just pause everybody, do what you're going to do, run a promotion or whatever, and then resume everybody, then you're all set and taken care of. So hopefully that was helpful to you. You can think of a lot of different ways to use this same technique for various different reporting purposes, for cycling different offers. There's lots of different things you can do with this, but at a very basic level, pausing and resuming campaigns is the primary purpose, and really powerful purpose, to make sure that your marketing message stays clean and consistent and clear for your audience. So go ahead and post your comments below. Again, stay tuned. We've still got 4 more hacks of Christmas to go. And of course, our all access pass is coming soon. You'll be receiving an email very soon with some more information about this. And when you receive that email, I want you to go ahead and click the link to join the waiting list. We're going to have a waiting list as we go ahead and get ready to release the all access pass to everybody. We're only going to allow a certain number of people to take advantage of this offer during the holiday season, and you're going to want to get on that waiting list and be ready to go as soon as that offer is available. So again, details are coming soon. Keep an eye out for that email with the link to join the waiting list. And thanks again for joining me for the 12 hacks of Christmas for Infusionsoft.